Welcome to the Finding Joy in the Journey podcast. This is Sheridan Ripley. I'm a teacher, a life coach, an author of 6 books, and I am so excited to be with you here today to share a tip or a tool to help you find more joy in your journey. Today, I want to talk about changing negative beliefs and letting those go. A lot of what I do with my clients is I find these beliefs that they hold and help them to clear them and then come up with positive beliefs to replace. I mean, there are books full of beliefs that I can access, and I often do. And sometimes I can just hear them. A lot of beliefs tend to fall underneath 4 categories. There's worthless, failure, abandoned, and scarcity. They don't all fall under this. However, a lot can fall under that. And I'd say probably a lot having to do with self-worth and self-love and self-acceptance and self-compassion would probably fall underneath that. And we get beliefs and thoughts from so many different places. It can be from how we were raised. It can be from society, messages that we see in movies or in social media. It can come from inherited beliefs. We might have actually gotten these things from our ancestors. And it's pretty interesting to think about where they came from. But in some ways, it doesn't matter because we have tens of thousands of thoughts a day. And a lot of those, I think, are beliefs or thoughts. So we get to choose what we want to keep. Just because we think something doesn't make it true. And just because we believe something doesn't make it right or true or for our best purposes. It doesn't necessarily support us or what we want to create. So it's really interesting because the other day I was talking with my husband and I said, once you said this, and I said this sentence that I thought he said. It was a belief I really, really believe because of something he said. And he's like, I never said that. I mean, and I think he said this 20 years ago. So maybe he did say it, right? Maybe he didn't. I don't know. But I believed he said it. And so I believed this thing that he said. And I don't have to. It wasn't serving me. It wasn't serving our relationship. It wasn't serving my business. And I get to choose. Do I want to keep believing that? Do I want to believe that he ever said? Kind of do right now because I think he did, but it doesn't matter. Maybe I could choose to believe he never did say that, and that would be okay. So it's so interesting to think about that. I had this image the other day when I was working with a client of thoughts, and almost like they had a slot in their head here, and thoughts were just shooting out on pieces of paper. Each paper had a and there were so many pieces of paper, they were drowning in all the thoughts they were having. And if we have tens of thousands of thoughts a day, and each thought was on a piece of paper, it would be like you're drowning in paper. And so I just had him imagine angels gathering up these papers and sorting through them and throwing away 95% of them into an angelic garbage can because we don't have to keep all those thoughts. We don't have to believe all of them. And then giving him a curated pile of papers and saying, which of these thoughts do you want? Which of these thoughts are actually worth thinking about and maybe keeping or maybe not? So that was a very interesting visual that I had. And I thought it was very powerful because it's easy to get caught up in our thoughts and start spinning about them. And thinking about our thoughts just creates more thoughts. And next week, we're going to talk about feelings and how feelings and thoughts are connected. So if you signed up for the self-love class, which you still can at any time, you can sign up for that. I'm going to have a different tapping script that you can tap along to. Go back a few episodes to hear about different clearing tools, and one of them is tapping. And for each of these beliefs, I cannot cover all of the beliefs that we could ever have. However, I definitely will cover worthless, failure, abandon, scarcity, and have specific scripts to help with that. Now, probably one of these really resonates with you. For me, it's abandoned. I don't know why. But that's the one that I often feel abandoned or lonely. And it honestly is kind of the main thoughts that come up. And that when I take time to pause, if I'm upset about something and like what's really underneath it, it often is this abandoned energy. I would like to suggest that you take a minute or two right now, pause this if you can, and think about which of these beliefs has the most energy for me? Which of these beliefs do I have the most thoughts about that get me spinning? Is it worthlessness? Is it about failure? Is it about being abandoned or abandoning others? Or is it scarcity? And we don't need to know the why behind it. Sometimes it's curious, but I don't know the why behind the abandoned. I don't have any logical reason to feel that. And maybe you do for believing or having these thoughts about your topic. However, knowing it can help you to recognize it more easily. And awareness is the first step in making changes. So being aware of which of these is the most big energy can help you to make movement to changing it. So I'm going to walk you through one way that you can help clear a belief that you're holding. And this is just one simple technique. You can find so many different ones. And I'll just walk you through an example of for me for abandoned and how this sometimes shows up. So one place where it shows up often is when I'm cooking and preparing dinner and I'm in the kitchen and I feel horrible. Like I don't like it. It feels very heavy. And if I really pause and irritating, like I get irritated, but if I pause and think about it, what is underneath this? It is a belief. I have to do this all alone. That's my belief that I have running in my head as I'm cooking. And it's what's causing all of these feelings, which again, we'll delve into next week. And it is tricky because I have a lot of proof, quote unquote proof, that I have to do it all alone just from past experiences. And it's not true. It is not a true belief. So if I imagine that a piece of paper coming out of my head that says I have to do it all alone and I pause, I'm aware of that and I take a deep breath and I look at that piece of paper and I'm like, do I want to believe this? Is believing this serving me? And the answer is no, it's not. It's not serving me. So what can I do? Well, I could choose to let that go and say, I don't want that belief. And I can imagine crumpling it up and throwing it in an angelic garbage can or tearing it up and throwing it in a normal garbage can or whatever. And then I have a choice. And a really easy one for me that I go to is just asking for angels to help me. So if I'm cooking, I just say, send the best available cooking angel to help. And usually I feel my grandma's energy because she was a really great cook. And so it just makes it a little bit more fun and light. And I don't have that thought anymore. I have to do this all alone. I'm not alone anymore. I've got my grandma there, my Nana, helping me out as I cook. And also, if there's other humans there, I can ask for help. I can say, hey, Rob, can you help me fix dinner tonight? And now actually, he does fix dinner 2 to 3 nights a week, and it's glorious. And I could have been doing that years ago, but I had this core belief. It literally was a belief. And that shows up in so many areas, not just cooking, that I have to do this all by myself. So as I address that and as I am more and more aware of it, it allows for more and more change. So that's really what I want you to do is become more aware of where these beliefs are popping up and recognizing it's just a thought. It's not true. You can ask, is this true? Is this really, really true? Do I want this belief? Is it helping me in any way? And if it's not, then let's work on changing it and letting it go. So again, feel free to join in the self-love class if you need some more help with this, or just take this idea and run with it and be aware what are the beliefs that are holding you back and and work on throwing them in the garbage and creating a new one. And we will go into creating new ones in a few weeks when we talk about affirmations. Thanks for listening today. I'm so excited for my upcoming Love Yourself More 21-day challenge. You can participate for free on Instagram at Power Up Your Prayers or in my Facebook group, Empower with Sheridan, from February 12th through March 4th. I'm also offering this Love Yourself More 21-day challenge as a class with extra bonuses, including visualizations, journaling prompts, and a group Zoom class to help you clear limiting beliefs and emotions so that you can better love yourself. The best part about signing up for the class is it will be there forever, and you can take longer than the 21 days if you need to, and always access the information, visualizations, etc. Visit SheridanRipley.com/loveyourselfmore for information. I also have some packages I'm currently offering to support you more fully during this journey if you're interested.